Hey guys, Alex here from Time's Ever Wasted, giving you a review of the Microsoft Surface headphones. Now these are actually something I was extremely interested in. They promise a lot and they're competing against Bose and Sony at the very high end, so I have a lot of good things to say about them. Let's get on to the full review. Now, I'm going to break this up into a couple different parts. So I'm going to go about the general stuff, then we're going to go talk about music, work, and then gaming. With headphones, $350, you kind of want to get a lot out of them. So I'm going to show you every single aspect about them. So let's get to the unboxing experience. So you get the headphones, you get this really nice carrying case. It's made out of, it's hard to explain, but it's like a textured material. It's pretty rugged, edges are pretty tough, so if you throw it in the bag, you don't have to worry about your headphones. Let's unzip that. Okay. So here they are. Honestly, I love the minimalistic look to them. These are actually touch points to them. It has a nice Microsoft logo on the side, and then they open up here. When we're looking at I/O, Type-C, now this is huge. A lot of headphones are moving to this, but honestly, if you're kind of like me where you have a MacBook, you have a Switch, you kind of just want one connector to kind of connect all your devices with, so this is nice. Now, this is another thing. 3.5mm headphone jack. Now, what I love about this is it's not small on this side. The QC35s, it's actually smaller on this side, so you have to use a proprietary cable. Let's get to the cables themselves. So Type-C cable, pretty long, nice color. It's built really well. I mean, it's a cable. And then let's get to the aux cord. So the aux cord, and then nice, little package to put stuff in up front. It's not squeezing them against the headphones too, which are nice. Now, when you use them in wired mode, it does use this microphone. This one has a microphone array on both sides. When using them in aux, it does not use the microphone array. So just keep that in mind. Other nice thing, like I was saying about them being, double-sided aux, is you can buy a different microphone or a different cord, or if you lose this, you don't have to buy, the official cord for it, so that's pretty cool. And then the other thing is you get the microphone mute and the on button. So, once you hook them up, you get to pair them with an app. I'll have pictures of it right here. And essentially, the cool things it does is you can see, for example, the battery life, you can check for updates, and essentially you can do all that stuff from the Cortana app. Now you can use Cortana. If you actually don't install the app, you can use whatever comes with your phone. So like for example, I held this down and I could use Siri, which is pretty neat. Now, some of the exclusive features to this headset is you can adjust the noise canceling with this dial. So you can go from pretty much off to all the way up, which actually the noise canceling on these are insane. I've used the QC35s before. These are just as good, if not better in some circumstances, as well as you can turn it all the way down. Now, if you turn it even further, you can actually, it'll amplify. So it will use the microphones and it'll actually make the area around you louder, which is really cool. You get volume control here. It even works with aux, which is really nice. You can just pump up the volume on your aux thing and then use this to adjust it. Pretty cool. When it comes to fit, I have a huge head. I'll just skip to the short. These are super comfy. I was a little bit concerned, but they look like they class small, but once you open them up a little bit, they get really big. They're built really well. You hear no type of like creaking or anything like that. They seem to be all plastic, but it feels really nice. But that's kind of it for my general kind of impressions of it. We're gonna get into the specified work, music, and gaming sections right now, so let's get into it. Okay, so first up is work. So first thing, you grab your headphones, you turn them on, so I'll have you listen to it. So as you can see there, I'm not sure if you can hear it super loud, but it was saying I have 15 hours. Essentially, talking, listening to music, stuff like that. I'd say it's pretty fair. I had these things blasting for about 4 hours playing games with them, and they stayed about true to that. Again, it was a little bit less, but I'm guessing 15 hours of not straight, max volume. So, when it comes to working, you essentially, like I was saying, you have the microphone array if you Bluetooth it to your machine. Now, when you Bluetooth it, the cool thing is you'll be listening to music, and essentially the calls and the voice are through a completely different audio thing. So, You could be listening to your music. If you get a phone call, the music will mute, and you can essentially pick up the call with the headphones. Everyone I talked to, it was super clear. They understood everything I said. It was super loud on my part. The noise canceling is nice because if you don't want to hear anyone else around you and you just want to focus on your call, it's really awesome. If you're using these for work, the other nice thing is just the simplicity of how they look. You're not going into work with some crazy looking headphones, and the noise canceling is nice because if you have people around you who might want to talk to you, you don't have to be super antisocial and have it all the way down. But when you need to get down to work, you can just crank it up. It's also nice for the option for you to crank it all the way down and some to get the amplified so you can hear everything around you super clear, which is pretty cool. You get the mic mute, so if you need to mute, mid-call, super nice. And the carrying case makes it a nice, easy way to bring it to work. So I'd highly recommend these for work. Again, if you're using just for work, you could probably get away with something more basic. But if you would also use them for some of the use cases in the next ones, I would definitely recommend them. So probably the first thing that comes to mind with these is how do they sound? So kind of to start it off with is right here, you'll see there's the app. You'll see that it says, there's flat, rock, jazz as equalizer options. You can adjust essentially how these sound. Now, if you leave them on flat, don't be fooled. They definitely don't sound flat. They have a vibrant tone to them. The treble is really high, the bass is really low, and it sounds crisp. Listening to most, pop, rock, rap, a lot of electronic music, they'll sound really good. Now, as some of the other reviews kind of, put into perspective, if a track has essentially really high bass, or the mids are super high, these might sound a little bit muddy. Now, I'd say that's out of 20 tracks I listen to, one of them will sound, a little bit not super crystal clear. Now, they still sound good. Do I think they're on par with the QC35s? Not exactly, but they're really, really close. That's when you kind of have to come into the part of where you decide, do I prefer, all the extra features with the noise canceling and stuff like that over that. But honestly, when it comes to $350 headphones, you will not be disappointed with how they sound. They're definitely not the best, but they're really, really good. I have probably about 15 hours of listening to music on these, and I'd say I wouldn't choose any other headphones right now. I'm really happy with how they sound. I mainly listen to electronic and rap music on them, and I honestly think they sound great. The only other thing to note is they do get loud, but you'll probably be hitting max volume on these. The nice thing about them though is with max volume, they don't sound super distorted. I don't really notice any distortion difference between having it two, volume levels below max or max. So the max volume on these definitely isn't really pushing it to the point where it sounds distorted. So if you like your headphones crazy loud, these might not be for you. But if you like, you're definitely gonna get a ton of volume out of them. Lastly, let's talk about gaming. A lot of reviews aren't going to cover gaming with them just because they're not marketed as that, but I wanted to give you my impressions with them. So, this is comparing them against, I use mainly the Victress Pros, but I've also used the Astro A40 TRs, so I have a good kind of understanding of what, they should sound like. So, using them with the Switch, they sounded great. A lot of the Switch games, the audios are compressed sadly, but these honestly brought them to life. Games like Rocket League, Skyrim, Pokemon, they all sounded great. Sadly, you can't Bluetooth them, but that's the really nice thing about the aux connector. So you can connect these to both the aux on the headphones and the Switch, and they work really well. One of the great things about the Xbox, though, is you can download the Dolby Atmos app, which essentially makes this into like a gaming amplifier. So that allowed these to do 3D surround. With that, they actually sounded really in between my Victress headphones and my Astros. So the Astros give a better, I can hear people walking better, while the Victresses actually do better at kind of just overall better sounding headphones. What I really loved about these is they were really good in the middle. The high treble of these headphones allows you to easily hear footsteps in competitive games, and the addition of the nice lows to it allow you, grenades sound really awesome. Everything just pops, and they sound really good. Now, do I think these are the best competitive gaming headphones on the market? No, it's definitely not that. But if you're spending $350 using these, at your work, using these to listen to music, and you want to, play a couple games on your Switch or plug them into your Xbox, you honestly are going to get really close to the quality that those are. And that really improves the value of these because I'm going to use these all the time with my Switch. I'm going to use them with my Xbox. And one of the things that these do really well that the other ones don't is the noise canceling. If you want to turn these up, if you have a loud pet or there's always people talking around you, you can just turn that up and you'll be put in your other world, in the other world, and you will be immersed in that game. So that's what really makes these special as gaming headphones. And I'm going to give you guys my final opinion now on these headsets. Okay, let's wrap this up. You probably know by now, I think these headphones are awesome. I'm definitely going to keep them. I think they're way better than the QC35s. I think the highlights of them are these two knobs. The volume and the adjustable noise cancellation is huge. The touch buttons for talking to Cortana, or you can use Siri. The I/O I think is just super great. They're built really well. They look minimalistic. When you're looking at the sides, they don't look too, over the top. They're business when they need to be, and then they're fun, when you want to use them to listen to music or play games. So I think these are great headphones. I would honestly recommend them to anyone. What I would say though is out of the the three categories I listened, if two of them are something you would use them for, I think they're definitely worth the $350 for you. If you think you might use them for one of them, you could probably find something better, but if you find two out of the three, highly recommend them. I'm definitely going to be keeping them like I said, and I'd honestly give them a 9 out of 10. The only thing I could say they could improve on is, like I said, in some heavy bass songs, they do get a little bit muddy, so they could definitely improve on that, and they could be a tad bit louder. As well as this material, it is really nice, but you have to be careful with it. You could easily stain these headphones, so be careful in that regard. But other than that, I think they're awesome. I'll be using them almost every day, and I will definitely be getting my money's worth with these. So hope you guys enjoy my review. If you have any specific questions about these, feel free to put them down below, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So hope you guys all have a good one, and enjoy the rest of your day.